We're at the Vietnam Veterans Plaza in New York City. It's located at 55 Water Street, and this is a symbol of American honor and recognition for all those that served and also gave the ultimate sacrifice. Once again, we are in New York City, 55 Water Street. It is Vietnam Veterans Recognition Day. It's March 27th, 2021. And this is the Walk of Honor where the names of the 1,741 New Yorkers who died in the Vietnam War is listed. But this is Michael Bocchini, and he is with the state's Veterans Affairs. And right here we have the proclamation.
Yes, it was my pleasure today to deliver the proclamation on behalf of Governor Cuomo for Vietnam Veterans Day. And it's a beautiful day for the event. Really couldn't have worked out better.
And tell us a little bit about your job and the benefits that the veterans have through the state.
Sure. So I'm the Deputy Director for the New York State Division of Veteran Services. We operate offices in all 5 boroughs, although right now everybody's working from home because of COVID, and then out on Long Island and upstate as well. And our job, if you think about if the VA is the IRS, we are like H&R Block. So we help you file your paperwork to access the benefits that a veteran has earned through their service. There's federal benefits, state benefits, and then local benefits as well. And so we're kind of benefits detectives. You know, we sit down with the veteran or the family member, and we figure out what they might be entitled to.
And on that proclamation, what were some of the highlights that were said on that?
Well, you know, the highlights were definitely talking about the enormous sacrifice that New Yorkers made. Over 4,000 New Yorkers paid the ultimate sacrifice. You think about the 1,600 Americans who never came home at all. They're still missing in action. And you think about, in the ceremony today, we had the sister. She was referencing the letter from her brother. He was 20 years old when he died. And you just think about how these were just kids, who were fighting for America. And it's up to the rest of us to remember them and to tell their story and to take care of their families and also to take care of their brothers and sisters who came home and have both physical and mental scars.
And talking about that, this wall behind us, they have letters etched, excerpts from letters etched in it that you can come down here at 55 Water Street right here in New York City and read and go through that wall.
Definitely. Everybody who's in Lower Manhattan should stop by. It's well worth a visit.
Yeah. And someday tourists when they come back.
Definitely. I bring you greetings from the Governor and from the entire New York State Division of Veteran Services. I want to also thank United War Veterans Council for inviting the state to participate in today's event, and I want to thank all the veterans here from every era for your service, and particularly for our Vietnam veterans. Welcome home. A proclamation from the Executive Chamber of the State of New York. Whereas throughout the history of our state and nation, countless brave individuals have answered the call to patriotic duty, including Vietnam veterans who endured unspeakable hardships and risked their lives fighting for the ideals of democracy. Whereas American involvement in the Vietnam War, one of the longest military conflicts in America's history, began with the arrival of the United States military personnel in South Vietnam in the 1950s, and ended with the fall of Saigon on April 30th, 1975, when the last Americans were evacuated from the United States Embassy. Whereas during this long and difficult war, American involvement escalated to staggering statistics. Over 3.4 million were deployed to Southeast Asia, 2.7 million served in the designated war zone, over 58,000 were killed in the theater of operations, 153,000 were non-mortally wounded. Today, nearly 4 decades later, at least 1,600 service members are still unaccounted for. Whereas the names listed on the Vietnam Memorial Wall in our nation's capital, of those 4,119 are those of courageous young New Yorkers who went off to fight half a world away, never to return. We recognize and thank all of our state's Vietnam veterans for their service. Those who made the ultimate sacrifice, those who came home physically or emotionally scarred, and those who returned home safely to their loved ones. Whereas we have not forgotten, nor will we ever forget, the men and women who served so honorably in the Vietnam War, like so many others who answered the call to serve in previous and subsequent wars. The selfless service and sacrifice of Vietnam veterans is an inspiring reminder of the patriotism, spirit, and courage of all those who serve in our nation's armed forces. And whereas it was on March 29th, 1973, that the last 2,500 American combat troops were withdrawn from the battlefields of Vietnam, and we solemnly commemorate the 40th anniversary of this day and reflect on its significance for past, present, and future generations. Now, therefore, I, Andrew M. Cuomo, Governor of the State of New York, do hereby proclaim March 29th, 2021 as Vietnam Veterans Day in the Empire State. Thank you.
And I'm Kristal Hart reporting from Vietnam Veterans Plaza here in New York City. Thanks for watching, and thank a veteran today.